Hello, Marilis. You're number one here. I don't know who was one in just a minute ago. David, hello. I don't know if you were still first just a minute ago. I had to disconnect and reconnect again. I don't know. I didn't notice who was first, but this one, Marielos is. I signed in. I don't know what was. Hello, Rachel from Trinidad. Sandy, Tyson, Rachel, and Sandy. I think this is your second time here, guys, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't think you guys. I think you guys have found us just recently, which I'm delighted, of course. Sandy, where are you tuning in from? Good to see you, Sandy. Let me know, guys. Remember, the protocol was where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. Because often I don't see a picture on the screen thingy there, and also not familiar with if the name is a female name or a male, so it'll help me out. David always is gracious to let me know while I know it by heart now. David is from Dallas, Texas, 23, and male. Rachel says, oh yes, you're right. I always watch you but never comment. Oh, I see. Okay. Hello, Olga. Dobre diem. Or dobre vice. And Olga, what do you think about the new thumbnail that I have chosen just a couple of days ago? Even today, I uploaded one, and the thumbnail is a little bit different color, so it's not all black. And I want to know your opinion and everyone else's opinion about this. It's got a gray background. It's got my picture and the monks, meditating monks in the waterfall underneath it, but on the right side and the left side is gray background and black writing. Sometimes I have it in a little gray writing, but today I have it in black writing. If you look at the most recent upload, which was today, I changed this thumbnail, and I want to see your opinions, guys. If you wouldn't mind, just let me know, or watch that video and make a comment about the thumbnails of it, so it stays there and I can refer back to it. Michael, Prost. Nazdarovia, as the Russians say. Prost, German. Salut, I guess Italian or French, maybe. And Besalamati in Farsi. And Banzai in Japanese. I'm expanding my knowledge. And maybe if you guys can share a few more words, like how you say the banzai, the to your health thing, Prost, in your language. share that here. Sandy says, I'm male from India, age 25, love to see your videos. All right, great. I'm delighted that it's been helpful to you and you're enjoying it. Sandy. So David says the text sticks out more, I think. So the black text on gray background and the new design is better than the all black design with the white writing text on it. Is that what the consensus are? David says, I kind of like how the photo blends together with the black background though. Yeah. So your vote for the new gray thumbnail is negative. As I remember, Olga made a comment last time that it was too much black, and I could see that. And I changed it a little bit, but we need to make one to make it to be unified all around and not fuss with it anymore. Stun down. Says, great fan of you, sir. Stun down, thank you very much. But it's the first time I see you here, right? It's the first time you're participating in our live talk, yeah? Lottie says, London, 39 female. Hello, London, 39 female. Lottie. And she says, I was wondering what you think about the way sometimes I might understand why I don't do something. Other times I don't know why I don't want to do something. It would be lovely to have a little bit more specific example, like what that something could be, so at least I could kind of feel your mood or possibility of the reason on that. But generally speaking, it could have a lot to do with your emotional resonance in the background, like how your mood is, how hopeful you are, how inspired you are, how happy you feel, how determined you are to make your goals come true. And some days you're depressed and you just don't feel like doing the things that you were actually interested in doing. It's like sometimes you don't want to go to the gym, and when you do, you feel good about it. But sometimes you're just really up to it and you want to go and you feel good about it. It's just about that mood. Pretty much that's a general discussion, response. But if I know specifically, and then depending on what your thought pattern are, what is the influences of that day on you, on your center? What has affected possibly your ego? Or have you been successful in fulfilling your desire on certain thing on that day? Or possibly you have something in the background of your mind that you can't bring yourself to the present moment to deal and act on what it is that you're interested to do. You're still dealing with something in your memory, and that is lingering there. And until that is resolved, you're not in same time and space as the real time and space is. While it is now, but you're in the past. You're in your memory. You're dealing with something outside of the box of now. And the box of now is very limited. That's why you should always be fully attentive to the now if you want to ride along and be a good companion and travel at the same speed of the now. So you'll be on the now all the time. One with life, one with the flow of the energy of the universe passing through you. And you're along with that energy passing through you, affecting and being affected with the happenings of the now. But if you are in your memory dealing with something, you miss all these actions of the now, including the energy, the fresh energy that flows, and then you will feel better and up to doing things. But when you're in your memory, there is no energy flow there. In the memory, you will not notice the energy that is flowing through you. because you're in a different time. Past, memory is the past. You're in the memory, then you're in the past. And when you're in the past, you won't feel the flow of the energy of the now. When you don't feel it, you're not one with it. You're not focusing on the life, you're focusing on a dead life. Therefore, your whole mood will have a dead energy, a non-existence energy, because you're getting your energy from your memory, and memory is dead. You're getting your energy from a dead events, non-existent events. And that doesn't have that emotion, motivation, energy level to encourage you to build new, to do new things. So you'll kind of be like a sleepy person waiting to wake up. Bring yourself to the now, and possibly things will change. That's just something that I could share with you now. Sundown says 2 questions for you. How does your face glow so much? Does it? I don't know. Probably not a good connection. It's probably distorted and you see it as a glow. And one advice you would give to a 21-year-old. A 21-year-old male wants an advice. Just be with the now. Don't spend too much time in your memory. Don't spend too much time in conjuring up things that hasn't happened yet and you think it will in the future, and then you will be affected by what you thought about that, what it could be in the future. Then you start dealing with what hasn't even happened yet, or mourning for it, or be sad about it, or be elated and be disappointed because it hasn't happened when you come back to the now. So all I'm asking you is to be with the now. Do what needs to be done now. If you need to study, do your study now. Don't start dreaming about, I will do this, or why this didn't happen this way in your memory, or I will try to make this happen in the future. And all that time passes and you will see you still haven't done your studies and you're still behind the 8 ball. Take the moments and take the time and be productive in that time. Make the best of your time, not waste it. And then when you're about to sleep, you want to waste it in about memory or future and all that. That's fine, because you'll fall asleep in the middle of it anyhow, and you won't waste your time. But when you got things to do, if you're working or if you're studying, preparing for exam or whatever it is, be fully focused at the moment of what it is that you are engaged doing it. If you're eating, focus on the food. Something has been sacrificed, and somebody has taken the time to prepare that food. So you focus on it and think about it and enjoy it and appreciate it. Whatever it is that you do, if you're studying, focus on what it is that you're reading and learn it, understand it. Don't memorize it, understand it, analyze it. If you're running, focus on your running. If you're playing a game, focus on your game. Thoroughly and totally with the now, with the present moment. Live, and life is only at the now. So be with the now, then you're fully living and accomplishing whatever it is that you have set out to accomplish. David says, I think the gray with black text is more eye-catching. But at the same time, I like how the photo of the monk blends with your picture with a black background. Maybe you can do that one part in black. Okay, I will try to learn how it is. Or maybe I will email Alper, because he knows these things perfectly, and maybe I will ask him to, if he has time, to give me a few options of these color designs and these designs that we talked about, and what his own opinion is, and maybe then among it, I will figure out which one looks really better. Anand says, hello, sir. Hello, Anand. Excuse me. He says, after our discussion yesterday, I went on a date today with a new girl. Okay, good. It was okay, but I didn't feel comfortable. Maybe because I'm scared now to invest emotionally after recent breakup. Will it change with time? Thoughts? Of course. First of all, don't be scared. What are you scared about investing emotionally? What do you think that is? That whole thing that works or doesn't work is life. There is no guarantee that says everything that you touch to build, it will be built exactly as you hoped it for. Often things in the middle of the project just falls over and doesn't come to fruition. And when you invest in emotionally in something, it also can go right and can go not right. Often it doesn't go right at some point. But until that point, why don't you enjoy and be, one with that experience and learn from it and see what you can do with it. Don't expect the result to show itself that it's a guaranteed before you take a step forward. If that was the case, we as a human race would have never gotten anywhere, because every step of the way that we made on our way to advancement was not sure of anything. Anything that we invented, anything that we tried to build, never it was sure at the first step. We learned as we went. We did our best as every step was taken. Same thing. You're waiting for a guarantee of some kind in some aspect of your life and think that that is a reasonable expectations. No. Go out with the girl, get to know her. You don't have to expect her suddenly to be your wife or behave as your wife, to be so antagonistic about her. Oh, she didn't do this or she didn't do that. And then think about the previous one and say, oh, that one was good. No, if that one was good, was still going to be, would have still been with you. So that one is a history. Forget that one. We never compared any new ones with the old one at all, ever. Everyone is unique, and try to learn this new girl or other girls and see who they are, what they are, for what they are, not for what you compare them with. And then, what's to be afraid of? You're meeting someone. You be nice to her. You treat her well. You pay attention to the conversation with her. Learn about her. You're not there to audition them for marriage. You're just there to get to know if you and that girl are compatible, to be, friends. And maybe later on boyfriend, girlfriend. Maybe. Just be there. Enjoy life. Be cordial to them. Be nice to them. Be yourself. Laugh with them. Don't expect that I'm saying this and I expect her to laugh this way, then I would get one step further, then don't have a plan. Just be there, have tea, enjoy, see who she is, what she says, converse with her, get to know her real, not her structure, her looks, herself, her center, her psyche, and introduce your psyche to her. Don't blow her away with all the stuff you want to tell her about yourself. No, just go along with what the flow is and be comfortable. Enjoy the date. It's a date. It's not a cornerstone for your life. It will come to be whatever it will be, and you will know. But go with no plans. Then you will enjoy. Sandy says, sir, you missed my question. Did I? Sandy says, sir, just I don't understand what's the basic aim of life. Ah. It's so boring to eat, sleep, work, and repeat. You're gonna put me to work? I've discussed that in other videos. But maybe I gently can discuss it here too. If you think about the fragments of your activities during the day, it will look like if it's continuously the same thing and it seems to you boring. The fragments and the things that you do every day the same, they are like the foundation of building something. The weave of the foundation, the structure, the organization of the foundation is a continuous repetition of the same kind of laying the blocks, because it has to cover a certain field in the same way to withstand pressure. So that part of the foundation will never change. While you're building foundation, you can't say, I'm bored because I have to keep laying these bricks and these concrete blocks the same way, this row and this row and this row and that row and that row and that row and that row is continuously the same, because you're in the process, you're in the stage of foundation, building foundation. It's the same thing done over and over, over layer, because the foundation is always supposed to be the same. So then, when it's done, you can build your structure on it. So you cannot think that building a foundation is the actual structure. You're thinking the eat, sleep, work, and repeat is your building. Eat, sleep, work, and repeat is your foundation. The experiences that you come to know and negotiate with through that work and waking hours, and what you accomplished during the day before you eat and you sleep, is actually your building, is what makes this different, is the differences in that what you think it's all the same. The sleep and eat and all these basic things that you need to survive is the foundation that you have to do every day in order to create a space where you can build something on it. And that could be your ability, because of the eating and sleeping and so on, and working, gaining experience, your ability to think of ideas, aspirations, plans, create something, build something, go somewhere, interact somehow, this and that and so forth. Why? Because all of that creates a fragment of the total fragments necessary for this whole life to jive into each other and affect each of other human beings and species and things alive on this earth to move on and grow and develop. Every one of our efforts as fragments of the totality of the fragments necessary to create this whole picture of life is necessary to create an environment in which we can all grow and develop, which in turn helps grow and develop the universe. The experiences and the wisdom that you gain through these whole repetitions of sleep, work, and eat, and so on, through which we just explained that you will gain experiences, come with ideas, aspirations, know-hows, interactions, and through all that effort, interaction, and exchanges, things will be modified, will be updated. Your consciousness will be updated. Everyone else's consciousness will be affected by your actions, and theirs will affect yours. Their actions will affect your consciousness, and as a whole, our consciousness, as a collective consciousness in the whole nature and universe, will be modified and advanced. And that's how we grow. And as our consciousness grows and changes and modifies, the whole collective consciousness of the universe, life in general, the whole big picture made out of all these fragments, which is us, will also modify itself and change and becomes a better place and better incubator, better environment for the rest of the generations, future generation, us as we grow and change to grow and develop in it as a more fairer and more prosperous more ready environment, more suitable environment for this life to become more advanced and arrive to where it's hoping to arrive, which is again more civility, more advancement in technology, in environment, and in its energy that is being extended and flowing through one end of the universe to the other end of the universe, carrying new and advanced information and substance that will affect the whole universe as a whole and help the whole universe as a whole become wiser, more intelligent through the experiences that we in our consciousness gathered and shared back into the universe and create that collective consciousness. That is what I can tell you in short. I hope that's something for you to think about. Sandy. I need tea. Now, let's see. Olga says, sorry again, you know, I will be completely honest. Go ahead, Olga. What do we have to change now? I think the thumbnails could be much more eye-pleasing and attract more viewers. The font is not right and the size of it, black background, was better. Olga, but it's just my opinion. Okay, Olga, you know what? I take everyone's opinion seriously because we really want to do the best we can. So, would you like to make one design for us? And just, you know, I can send you one a blank maybe background of black or gray, or maybe you just give the general idea by making one. Color combinations, font size, font color, background, and the text color, and you know, copy the picture, my picture, from the Facebook page that I'm sure you know. I hope you've visited it. Mind That Seeks Truth author or Mind That Seeks Truth books on Facebook. That would be mine. There are pictures of me and the logo and all that. See if you can put one together, one thumbnail that you think it will be a good one, in your opinion. And who knows, maybe any of you who want to do that, we can, you know, look at it all and then we'll see if it's better than the one that we have. We make the modification. We need all the help we can get. Stunt Down says, thank you so much. Love from India. I will try to attend every of your live sessions now. Okay, dear. And don't forget to share the videos with the people that you like, or on your social media, so they will get to know about our channel, and also to understand that our channel is far beyond just relationship stuff, because our whole main purpose is to introduce the idea of knowing about our psyche, knowing about our thoughts and consciousness, the relationship between the two, and the role of the fear, desire, and ego in the whole experience of life and our day-to-day negotiation of our life. And that's the whole purpose of it. Now, I use this whole universal concern of everyone around the world, which is relationships, emotional experiences, in order to introduce this concept of getting to know of our psyche. That's why we talk about relationships. Otherwise, the main purpose for this channel is to introduce to you how your psyche works, and to know more about your own psyche, to become your own analyst, your own helper of clearing in many things out for yourselves, and how you feel, the way you feel, act and react in your daily life, including your emotional and romantic connections with your partners. Michael says, question, dude. Okay, dude. Shoot. You're prompting the steady kind of happiness independent of the outside and understand 100%. And I understand 100%. But don't you think that craving and finally satisfying desire can lead to a very intense joy and is still compatible with your philosophy? Why sacrifice these high moments by eliminating desire? Who said to eliminate desire? Michael? When did I ever say eliminate desire? It's a pause, waiting for your answer. I do not remember, and I'm absolutely sure that I've never said to eliminate desire. I said what desire does, but I didn't say we should eliminate desire, because desire is also a reason for our advancement, to bring changes, to modify things, because without desire, I mean, the whole existence is because we desire to live. That is in our gene, programmed. Desire is good. But what we desire, what and when we should desire something or not, should be under our control. Not just because desire goes through the steps that is necessary for desire to be born, therefore it is justified for us to follow it. Just because desire is born, just because desire fulfills the steps that is necessary for it to be born, it doesn't mean that it's now our mandate to follow it and catch it and grab it just because we desire it. We never said eliminate desire. We said choose the desire that is going to serve you well and do not become a slave of your desire. That's two different things. Sometimes desire is actually a slave of the ego. And therefore, we following that desire that is only there to serve the ego, we become the servant of the ego, which then we are fucked. Because that becomes our conditioning. And the ego has no conscience. It's not necessarily working to our benefit, it's working to his own benefit, which is some kind of a sick-minded thing that is trying to control the whole interaction of us with life. Through ego, many wars and many difficulties and many conflicts and divisions have been created. So what I'm saying is that we have to become the master of ego and desire. Ego in some points is good. Desire in many cases is good. Beside the joy that you talked about, it inspires and it motivates and it brings about lots of good things that we have in this world. Plus the joy and stuff like that. But you must be the master to choose it. Desire and ego must work for you, not you for them. That's why you, your center, you, the me, must be the boss, not the slave. To desire, which is an instinct that we can hardly resist, but we must choose and shun and throw out the desires that will not do good for us. Through desire, you may get enjoyment, but not every enjoyment is good for you. Enjoyment is good, but not every good enjoyment is good for you. Pleasure is good, but not every pleasure is good for you. Pleasure feels good, but not every feeling good is good for you. Therefore, you must be the master of your desire, to choose, to control, to vote on it. You command it, what to pursue, which one not to. And therefore, on that basis, keep the ego on its check that You, ego, will follow me. I am the master. Then you're free. Otherwise, you are running around trying to fulfill the desire so the ego will be fluffed. And the two will conspire and you become their stooge and their gopher and their slave. And that's why we lose the sight of that joy and happiness that you start thinking desire, following desire is, but in fact it could lead you to where the joy and happiness is the reason for your slavery to your desires and ego. And that's what we're trying to avoid here and everywhere. Hope that answers your question. Michael. Stundown says, just curious, how do you react if your ex reaches out casually? Casually? What do you mean? Like reaches out casually? Well, you can see I'm in a goofy mood, possibly. But you know, as serious as you should be in life, you don't have to be too serious all the time. So that's why, I guess. Okay. How you react if your ex reaches out casually, and how do you have such immense knowledge about dating, sir? Who says I do? Haha. Were you a player when young? Well, I do know a thing or two, because like any other full-blooded heterosexual male, I love and loved women, and I always tried at young age to see what mystery I have to learn in order to be, able to communicate better. And that communication often means pondering, learning, respecting, understanding women, trying to see how they tick, how you tick, and what it is that makes me a better man in their eyes or in my eyes. What is it that I can offer more of myself to them? And that comes with understanding. And appreciating a woman is wonderful, and I always did. Respectful, protective, appreciative, cordial, kind, compassionate, caring. Never used any woman in my life in any way, shape, or form. And I never want any good man to use a woman in any shape or form. It all has to be clear with her, and with her knowledge and free will and consent of any kind of a relationship in any level. And through that, it will be a healthy relationship while you gain lots of information about how to become a man who understands what entails in a relationship, in a healthy relationship with a woman. And I, like many other people in this world, learn through stumbling blocks, puzzles, challenges, difficulties. And then you always have to come back to yourself and look inwardly for how you did or you could better dealt with, or what you should modify in yourself, in your psyche, as far as ego and desire, thoughts and consciousness, all of that. Learn fears, and you got to explore that in order to be able to become a better version of yourself in your interaction with your friends, with yourself, with your family, and with your woman that you are hoping to establish a relationship with. Now, I don't know if you call that a player or not, but I know that however experience I've gained in life, It's always been through fairness, cordial behavior, gentlemanly behavior with women, and pondering and figuring out what's good for them, not just what's good for me. What's good for both of us in a relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And that's why, yes, I have been respected by women, possibly considered charming, and because my intentions has always been cordial, respectful, and positive. And I recommend the same to you guys. And through which you gain lots of experience. And then, of course, through understanding your thoughts and consciousness, how consciousness is put together, how we're conditioned, what is order, what is mechanical process, what do they have to do with in a relationship, what is their role, what is the role of your fear, your ego, your desire, in how you behave, act, and react in a relationship. And you become aware of that, and therefore you become aware of how your girlfriend also considers all these reactions and interactions inside her psyche. While you understand your own psyche, you will also understand her psyche, better understand her psyche, and then you will have a better chance to connect in a higher level with her. And these will all help in having a better relationship and also selecting better from the outset. I hope that would be accepted as part answer to your loaded question. Stand down. Now about the first part of your question, what if your ex reaches out casually? Who cares? It's an ex. You have tried your best to make it work. You guys, obviously, before it broke down, you tried, you compromised, you tried to understand, communicate, and it didn't work. And then it broke up and it became ex. Now, you have to see when the ex is reaching out, what has changed? Have you changed? Has she changed? What is this reaching out for? Is she lonely? Or is she able to understand you better and help you understand her better? What has changed? So you can maybe explore it and directly say, you seem to be reaching out to me and want to reconnect. Is that something that you would like to talk about? Or is it something because you just want to say hello? And if she says, yeah, I like to talk about it, then you can meet and see what's going on and see if anything has changed, if you guys are more willing to be compromising and, you know, becoming, creating a unified or a new order, a common order between you two, and maybe reestablish connection. Or you will see, no, it's just because she's lonely, or, you know, you feel like you haven't found anyone yet and you become impatient and you just want to go back to each other. That can happen too, which is not a good idea. There is a reason why they call it X. It means no longer X. So better to move on and forget about this reaching out stuff, because you already tried and didn't work. So why is it that suddenly after a while you guys feel lonely and you think it's going to work? No, it's again the hormones and the loneliness and all these fears and desires. And we've talked about why you kind of miss the ex or the ex misses you, because all the steps necessary for the desire to be born is already recorded in your memory. And when you think of her or she thinks of you, all those files and plus the emotional files of the steps necessary for desire to take place also comes up to forefront of your mind. And then the emotions act up and makes you feel like all the steps necessary for desire to be born are now again refreshed and are there again right away now, like new. And therefore you kind of rekindles your desire for her or her desire for you. And you guys think that something has changed. No, nothing has changed. It's just the emotional memory files on the steps necessary for desire to be taking place, to be born, is just coming to forefront of your mind, and you're acting on that what was once the necessary steps for desire to be born. But it hasn't been redone freshly now. It's just a memory of it that you're now thinking it's been refreshed and you are acting on it. You feel like, oh, you want to meet her again, or she wants to meet you again. So that's why you would want to discuss it directly and then sit down and see if anything has changed or not. And if it has, then you go from there. If it hasn't, then you'll see it was just a flashback of the emotional files that was necessary for the steps to be taken for the desire to be born, and it has just come to the forefront of your mind, and it's not necessarily the fact that you really want to be together. It's just a reaction to what naturally we react to, you know. It's kind of feel like if you sit and put your legs on top of the other one, you cross your legs, and you know how the doctors want to check your nervous system or reflexes, and they have this little rubber coated tipped hammer looking thing, and they hit it on your elbow, not elbow, on the knee, and then your knee jerks on upward. Now just imagine if you think about that when you have you cross your legs, and you think about that experience when you're in the doctor's office and he or she is doing that, and your knee jerks, your leg comes up. When you think of that, you kind of feel like doing it again just to see how it felt, because the whole memory of it is there, and you can see exactly how it reacted to that action of the doctor. And the file is there, and you may actually want to see how it feels, and you may actually, without the doctor being there and hitting on your knee, you may actually kind of move your leg a little bit because you were thinking about it. Now it's kind of the same thing when you have all these emotional files that comes to your mind, but it's much stronger because now these are emotional files. It's not just a pictorial memory. When you think about the emotional files that's necessary for the desire to be born, and you think of them, it's like that you see the doctors hitting again, you kind of by default want to move your leg because you thought of it. Now you also are thinking about all those steps that was necessary for desire to be born, and you kind of feel like, I want to see her again. Like you kind of desire her because all those steps you were reminded of, and you're reacting to the emotions that all those files that came to forefront of your mind brings with them, and then make you kind of react to it. And that's why you feel like, oh, the desire is there, I want to see her. But it's not really. Nothing is refreshed, nothing is new. You're just reacting to the memory of when you had desire for her, when all those necessary steps were born and created at that past moment. Okay, I hope you understood what I'm trying to show you here. Stand down. Stand down. I don't know what kind of a screen name that is, but good job. Michael says, thank you, Michael, for the vote of confidence. I must humbly agree. Yes. But with a lot more thoughtfulness. Michael says, nobody here is offensive. I'm positively friendly, joking. What happened? Why? Standan says, I hope the question isn't offensive. I was just curious. No, not offensive. Not at all. Everybody's got positive energy here. Nobody is being offensive. All in good taste. And we have, okay, wow, it's a good session. Lots of questions and, okay, all right. was it? Flash plants, fish plants. What's up, Mehran? Not much. Now that you're here, everything's gonna be okay, yeah? Standan, all people who are like 50 plus around me are so boring, and Mr. Mehran is a legend, a person who I would never leave if he was around. Yeah, somehow I have this challenge of thinking I'm still 25, but I damn well know I'm not. So that's where the mind and body are separated. The mind still thinks it's in his 20s, so the body knows, oh, well, no, far from it. So now, Anand says, I got your point, but after the date, I felt like I'm not ready for a new date yet and need to be alone with myself and grow out of grief with time. Okay. There's no need for grief, Anand. You are creating that in your own mind. You've created a situation where you think you should grieve. There is a video I have that says, who tells you that you should remain sad? Let me see if I can find that. Because that is something that you definitely and everybody else must watch, which I think I'm going to include that to collections that I'm putting together. And let's see. Let's see, bear with me, guys. I think this is an important video that I want you all to see. Who is telling you to stay sad or something like that? Let's see. There we go. There we go. We got it. What is this? Constantly. All right. There it is. This is what I want everybody to take a moment at your leisure time and watch. There's a link for you, and that will explain to you a little bit why and who tells you to linger and stay sad. That could be something to help you with. Anand says, I mean, I need more time to heal completely out of grief, and then maybe I can see if I am comfortable dating. And good points is I have stopped triggers affecting me. Thanks for discussion yesterday. You're welcome, Anand. You will be fine. And watch that video that I just put the link for you. I think that will kind of open up your eyes a little bit. In order for yourselves to understand a lot more about what we're talking about here, because remember, the main purpose of our discussion on this channel is for you to be more knowledgeable and aware and alert and clear about your psyche. So go to the playlist, The Psyche, and go through the videos in there. You will learn about why you feel the way you feel. Who is telling you to feel the way you feel? Who has created these standards for you? You will recognize that there is a thought and consciousness. And then there is a watcher that is watching you thinking. And what's the difference between the two? Who is the watched? What is the watcher? What is the role of these two? And you will come, and there is a video I have that says the quality of your life, watcher and the watched, controller and the controlled. observer and observed. I want you to watch that. Again, I'm going to put that here. Because I think, again, that's one of the important things you need to watch. My whole purpose is for you guys to understand about yourselves more. Not just to get solution for certain emotional or romantic encounter or challenge. To understand what it is that is making you feel that way. And that would be the treasure that you're looking for. The channel will not be the treasure. The knowledge will be. What you will gain will be the treasure that you're looking for. And I'm trying to bring your attention to focus on that treasure. Not these little things here and there about your personal lives. That's part of learning of the bigger thing. So, watcher and the watched. Let's see what we get here. So there's another video called "Who is Judging Your Thoughts?" I want you to watch that. You know, I want you to watch that. Here it is. Who is judging your thoughts? There is the video of it. The link is there now. And the other one, the quality of your life, the watcher and the watched. Here it is. That's where it is. I want you to watch these. These 2 or 3 videos that I just put up on for you are important. Very important. The power of mind is amazing, that you are not really paying attention to it. You think everything's happening to you is because it's happening, and your mind has nothing to do with it. But it is you. And for that to understand how powerful the thought, how powerful the mind is, I want you to watch this last video that I just put on there. You've got a bunch of videos that I just put in there, 4 videos, I believe. And I want you to add these 4 videos to the stuff that you want to watch and learn from it. I think you will enjoy it, knowing that you guys are really into understanding more deeper about the stuff that you're facing with. You will enjoy it. All right. Coming back to the mainstream of our discussions here, Stun Down says, I will share, sir. I have had a YouTube channel with around 70,000 subs before it got terminated. Oh, why did it get terminated? You have immense knowledge, but need to improve on thumbnails, tags, and catchy titles. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. We're trying to learn that. Now, why did you get terminated? I hope that you can rekindle that and get that 70,000. Yeah, 70,000 will help us a lot. I mean, gets us begin to be on the map. So if you can help us to be more visible by sharing the videos on your social media or however, Instagram, whatever it is that you know what to do, definitely appreciate it. Now, Olga says, okay, Olga says nothing to me. He's talking to Sandown. Okay, Sam Mendimasa. Sam Mendimasa says, hey, Mehran, how are you doing? Thank you, Sam. Good to see you here. Sam, is it the first time you're here? Or have we spoken before? Or perhaps you just, you watch the videos, but you haven't participated in our live talks. Michael says, lol. Okay, thanks for your answer, Mehran. Pleased to hear that. Very reasonable, and I agree 100%. You're indeed my man. Okay, what did I say? I forgot what the comment was. There's so many questions I went through. Now I'm not following. I got to go back to your other question here to see actually what you said. Ah, okay, yeah, all right, I got it. Yes, of course, I got it. Now, Olga says, Mehran, I will try to do something how I see it as an example. Thank you, Olga, I appreciate that. You guys know how to send me something, right? If you go on my Facebook page, you can put stuff there, or you know my email is always on part of the, is it? Or through YouTube, I think you can send me. So anyhow, or through my site, mind-that-seeks-truth.com, you can always send me stuff. However, Mehran, 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 at mind-that-seeks-truth.com is also my email if you want to send me a sample of the design or whatever it is. You're welcome to do that. Let's see. Oh, Excalibur. Good morning, sir. You woke up? He says, Mi amigo Mehran in the house. How are you, dear? Well, we are good. Where have you been? You have been absent, and everybody has been, kind of, feeling like, you don't like us anymore. So, actually, you missed your first place to Marielos today. She was first, and David was second, and you were nowhere to be found. And he says, and I laughed so hard when you explained the reaching out casually with your okay, fine. Dudley Lukey. Dudley is, I've seen that name before, but maybe not in the live talks. Dudley says, I'm 20 from the US. I feel like I already have found the person I want to be with for the rest of my life. Stop. Don't say that. Because I don't want to go through your question right now fully before I bring your attention to this. That is what you are telling yourself to believe. But look, at age 20, you hardly know yourself. You know yourself of where you were up to now and where you are. Compared to where you were in the past, you're very wise now. But compared to the wisdom that you will gain and experience you will gain in the next few years, you're nowhere near knowing who you are, what you want, what your standards and expectations of the woman that you want to be with is. So don't believe that this is the girl you want to be with the rest of your life. Maybe a girl you want to be with now, according to what your place in this life is and where you are and your experience and wisdom and expectation and standards, level of standards and expectations are. That's all. But do not make such judgment, because then you will be totally hurt, because you actually have made yourself to believe that this is the girl for you forever. And when it didn't work, and if and when it didn't work anymore and you guys broke up, you think you have lost the only thing that would have been perfect for you, because you've conditioned yourself to think this way from now. Don't do that. Just take it what it is for what it is, and then see where it goes and how it develops. And then as you guys evolve and develop and change and modify your consciousness, and you may expect differently, and you may grow together, and or you may break up, and these are all possibilities that you should give it a real thought and consideration, and let it be part of the equation that could lead to this relationship, could lead to. Not dogmatically say this is it. Why? Because your hormone says, okay, I'm excited about her, she's got, she turns me on and everything else, and suddenly she becomes everything that you expected. No, these are your natural inclinations, and run programming your genes, and that's what you like. But that's not really what she's all about, what you can see. There's a lot more to her that you may or may not like when you get to know
her real center, her real self. And before that, you should get to know your real self, your real center, what it is in your psyche, how you've been conditioned, and why it is that these standards is what your standard is, which very well, as your standards today are not the same as it was 5 years ago when you were 15, you can expect your standard expectations today will not be what it will be 5 years from now. So leave this flexibility to things may change. She may change her mind. You may change your mind, and it'll all be okay. You will not have set this to be, oh, all that. And if it didn't work, then you think, oh, I lost all that. It's not. It's just one of the many experiences that you will come to enjoy in your life as you grow older. And he continues, rest of my life, but she keeps coming in and out of my life. She will be there for a year or two. What do I do? That's what I explained to you. So now you know what to do. Exactly. Before I read the question, hopefully that will, when I upload it again, you can listen to it again. So don't worry, you'll be fine. Just take it for what it is, enjoy it for what it is. Don't turn it into the eternal choice, because it is not. You will change, your expectations will change, and she will change, and it's all fine. Just experience and enjoy and learn from it. It's like a warm-up game at this age. In your 20s, it's like a warm-up game, like you're preparing for a soccer game. You go practice, 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 practice. These are warm-ups. The tournament hasn't come around yet. The championship is nowhere near. So just enjoy the warm-up games. And these are all warm-up games, even though they look like the serious final game. This is the girl I want. No, your hormones tell you that you're turned on. That's all. And that's good. But get to know her and get to know yourself. And as you grow older, you will see you have changed and she may change. And you may not actually like this girl anymore because of your expectations would have changed in the future. And leave that to be a possibility as it actually is. Dudley. All right. Now, Standan Olga. Okay, talking to Sandan. El Haj says hello, sir. Hello, El Haj. Ahmed Abdul Rahman. Hello, Ahmed. Hi, broke up because of culture and her parents didn't approve after she told about us after a year. She cheated because she saw no hope and now sleeping with everyone to release the stress after I got mad. But she's sleeping with everyone or you're sleeping with every girl you see. Ahmed says now her phone is taken away and she can't leave the house with her mom and she blames me for it and everything, but hurts picturing her with all other guys fucking before she can go out. Don't worry about it. It's an ex. So move on. Don't have to picture that. And that's the reality. Accept it. And you move on. Find yourself another partner that her and her parents would accept you. You know, simply. And she can do whatever she wants. She's the master of her own life, and you're the master of your own life. Your life and happiness does not depend on her and what she does. What she does and how she lives is her business, and it's a reflection on her, not you. So don't worry about it. You're not responsible for her, and she's not part of your life, so she can do whatever she wants to do. And picturing it is just useless and nonsense. Don't picture it. Picture something that you want to see come to fruition for you, and build a new relationship with somebody else. And let her be happy for whatever decision she makes for herself. And that is how it should be between people who actually wish each other well. Roxana says, hello, Roxana. Good to see you here, dear. Anand says, okay, watching it immediately after this session. Good. Those 4 videos that I sent you, Anand, will help you to
clear out a little bit out of your foggy mind, and it will be more clear. Clearer. Clearer. El Haj says, I'm 23 from Minnesota. What does it mean when a girl begged you for a second chance after you tell her that it's over because you guys were not communicating right? Does she like me or just don't want to completely lose me? Who cares? If you like her, and if you feel there is a place where you can communicate and get to know each other and clear out the clear out misunderstandings, talk with her. And don't feel so high and mighty just because somebody seems to be interested in you and you have the upper hand. See how it feels when you beg a girl, which you should never do. Nobody should beg anybody. But I know some of you may have. And when you do it, you see how badly it feels and how she reacts? She actually becomes more distant when you beg, because no woman likes weak men. And nobody likes weak, partner. So if you're begging, remember how it felt and how she reacted. And if she's begging now, obviously it's taking a lot from her to do that. But talk and see why she behaved the way she did, and why is she asking for second chance. What are the reasons? What are these oscillating behavior? Why she answers for a while and then she doesn't answer for a while? Why she accepts you to go there to visit her parents and then suddenly disappears and doesn't answer? And tell her that you're not interested in this kind of a interaction. So make that clear, and then see if she can come up with some logical explanations. And if that's acceptable to you, then obviously you guys see eye to eye and give each other another chance to get to know each other better. And if it's not satisfactory either to you or to her, then you just say part and wish each other well and go for finding another possible candidates. No one is a god. So it's all about communication. So communicate and see what she has in her heart to say. What are her reasons for having dissed you? Because I remember our conversation last time. You said that she invited you to go and see her parents, and then when you called to do, she didn't respond. And now I guess that's the same girl. I guess she's saying what you're telling me she says. So talk to her and ask for clarification. Say, listen, I don't know what's going on here. One day you're in love or interested, and the other day you're, like out of labor and you're no longer interested. What's going on? I mean, I don't really want to pursue you. I don't want to bother you. I don't want you to bother me either. Equal basis. You're free to go wherever you want to go. You don't owe me anything, and I'm free to make my decisions and choose my girlfriend according to what my expectations are, and so are you. So what is it? Why did you do these things, and is it going to continue? Because I'm really not interested to be bamboozled. If there is a relationship here, we'll pursue. If it's not, it's not. I wish you well, and we say bye-bye. Simple. It's not a big deal. It's not like the end of the world if somebody wants you or somebody doesn't want you. Life goes on. You build another if it wasn't palatable. Stundown says, I got terminated because I used some songs and I got copyright strikes. Oh yeah, okay. So channel ain't coming back, but I will surely help you the way I can. Okay, thank you. Sam says, probably about 5 months. You're about seeing value Your about seeing value in myself was really helpful. Okay, good. And Sam says, hey Mehran, can you look up for my previous question? Thanks in advance. Sure. Let's see, where was your previous question? Sam. Do you have any advice on dating someone 9 years older, even though they seem to really love, care about you and your culture? Sam, first of all, tell me where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and I presume from your picture you're a man. So I think that if that's your picture, you know, some people choose their family members' picture or whatever, because I can't tell if they are. But if you're a man, let me know, you know, where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and then I can calculate and see what the 9 year you're talking about. She's 9 years older than you are, and I gotta need your age as well, and I'll get to it as soon as you let me know. All right. Roxana says, what if you don't meet the right person? There is an extremely high chance that you will. Because, you know, 7 billion people, it is highly unlikely that even if you try, you will not meet someone that you like. There's so many things to like in this world. It's like saying, what are the chances that you will not like a flower? Or what are the chances that you will not like a tree? What are the chances that you will not find a flower that you will like or a tree that you will like? What are the chances that you will not find a sport that you like? Well, of course, you know, sport is much more limited, but still, you will see that there are lots of chances. Kind of impossible if you don't like a plant, if you don't like a tree, if you don't find a tree that you like, if you don't find a flower that you like, and if you don't find a character, a personality, traits that you like in a person. Therefore, it'll be highly unlikely that you will not run into someone that you actually approve of, their character, their personality, and so on. Now, whether or not you guys will end up to stay together for a long time or forever, that's another question, because everybody is dynamically developing on the fabric of their consciousness. The field of the known is constantly modified by your experiences, reflected on your consciousness. The echo of your reactions to the events of life will change and will alter the field of the known, the canvas on which your consciousness is woven. So that is unknown, but the fact that you will or not be attracted to someone that you will approve of, that pretty much 100% almost 99% is plausible, it's possible. So I don't think you should really ask the fact that you're asking this question is because you haven't found that person yet. And the operating word here is yet. It doesn't mean that you will not find. It just means up to now it hasn't been found. That's all. But there's so much more space and time available and opportunities are coming your way that you can't decide on what will be according to what has been in this particular case. It's like saying you find a bucket full of oysters on the shore while you're walking on the ocean's side, and you say, you go through like maybe 1,000 oysters in there. You go through 100 or 200 of them, and you don't find a big pearl in them. And then you say, gee, I haven't found any, so I guess it can't be found. Well, look, you only went through 200 of them, or 300 of them, or 400 of them. How can you tell? All it takes is one oyster, and I bet you there are going to be a lot more among what's left, the number of oysters left in that bucket, that they will have pearls in it. They say somebody was walking on the ocean, found a bucket with 100 oysters in, and opened one, there was no pearl. Opened another, no pearl. Opened another, no pearl. Up to 95 of them opened, no pearl. He got tired and kicked the bucket, said, the hell with it. There's no pearl here. The next person comes along, there's 5 oysters, opens the first one, there's a big pearl this big in it. So it's not like what you've experienced, and if you haven't found something, it's a representation of that you will never found, and that cannot be found in the future endeavors either. You don't judge life like that. You just take it day by day and go through the experiences, and then eventually you may and you will find something that would be worth your time to pursue and investigate further for a possible mutually acceptable relationship. Roxana. Now, Start Down says, is being a player good? You are honest with your intention that you are not looking for serious relationship, but hang out maybe, or one should only get in a serious relationship or so. Well, it is not up to you to find a serious relationship. You can't just go out of your home and say, I'm going to find a serious relationship. How can you? You will find a person that you may like to get to know her, and you may end up being friends. You may end up being boyfriend, girlfriends, and then you may end up being in a relationship of serious nature, and then you may end up being in a more serious relationship. But you can't start out with, I will not engage in any relationship unless it's a serious relationship. How can you do that? Everything is built from the first, from laying the first brick. But you can't say, I'm going to have a building. You got to build a building. Unless you want to buy a building, that's different. And you can never buy a serious relationship. But we're talking about building something, right? So if you want to build something, it doesn't come all on its own with all facilities fixed and ready to go. You can't just get the material and place it here and it's all ready. No, you have to lay the bricks, brick by brick, the foundation and the designs and the walls and the electrical system, all the plumbings and all the appliances, and one by one, floor by floor, until you build your building. So at the end of it, when it's all functioning perfectly, you can say, I have built a serious structure. But you can't say, I have a serious structure when you just lay the first brick. It's just a procedure of it. So go through the procedure. Get to know her, find each other, bond on consciousness level, get to know each other, not just being tantalized and interested in your hormones acting up and, sexual interest to be the only guidelines for what is good or what is bad for you, each other. That won't work. Bond on consciousness level, and then go through the experience and see how you guys can meet each other's standards and flow with the relationship, see where it goes. It may or may not become a serious relationship. Then you will decide if it is or not a serious relationship. But never fool a girl, never try to be, manipulating. It's an underhanded, bullshit, abusive behavior. always be cordial. You don't have to be a pussycat, or you don't have to be a gopher, or you don't have to be a, a complainsive, or a person who complies with whatever she wants. No, be yourself, but be fair and be interactive, and see how you two can get along, both of you, in higher level than just the physical attraction level, because that's very limited. It can always boil over if you haven't used that initial interest on physical level to use that time to bond on consciousness level and get to know each other better. Then you will see that your relationship will not have a leg to stand on in a long run. So then therefore go in with good intentions and get to know each other, and then see where it goes. Then decide if it's going to be a serious relationship or not. Not that I'm intending to make it serious. No, you'll just put too much pressure on you and on her, and both will feel it, and before you know it, you'll just don't want to stand each other, because there's too much expectations there and too serious. And just take the steps, gentle, be patient, go through the motion, enjoy it, enjoy the journey. Don't go for the destination. Go for the journey and see if this journey takes you to a destination that you would have hoped for. That's the ticket. Now, you're welcome, Ahmed. Tawfiq says, I believe that I have moved on 3 months after breakup with my cheating ex, and I was really doing well. But today, out of nowhere, I felt like I still love her, and it made me so depressed about it. What to do about it, Mehran? No. You haven't. You're just horny. That's all. You're just horny, lonely and horny. So that's all. There's nothing there. Your thoughts, again, if you go back to what we discussed in this live talk today, when you think of her, when you think of your ex, look, men, I don't know how the women are, and I'm not expert in their biology, but I can tell you, men, heterosexual male, thinks about woman and sex all the time during the day. Maybe every 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 15 seconds, thinks about that. Now, when you are going through all these many times of thinking about sex, depending on your mood and what you're doing, so on, it could be every hour, every minute, or every second, I don't know. But anyhow, when you have this program in you that you think about sex all the time, or whenever you do, the most recent real relationship with feelings that you've had will come to mind. And that's the girl that you think you're missing. And that's the girl that you think you want to be with. But it's really not the girl. It's because she was the most recent experience that you had, which will come to fulfill that mechanism that you have to think about sex. She will become the avatar. She will become the subject of your interest, because of your program in your genes that you're thinking about sex, and you will automatically by default go and think about the most previous experience, emotional and feelingful relationship or experience that you had. And that's why you're thinking of her. It's not her that you're really missing or interested, is the whole idea of being in love and being with your girlfriend, being in a relationship that you're missing. And because of these feelings coming to your mind, and by default you will quickly remember your most recent one. So you're not really in love with her, you're not really missing, you're just in love with the idea of having a girlfriend and having sex, and these are the emotions and the urges that you're getting, that you're running on. And that's not necessarily the same as missing her because you love her. Hope, Tawfiq, that would clear something up for you. Lati says sometimes relationship can get into a big muddle. The path of true love doesn't run like a river, does it? Should it? The whole concept of love is misunderstood. Love is different than just sex. You got to get to know your partner to love. How do you know her? Or how do you know him? Do you know yourself? How do you know yourself? On what level? Do you know yourself because of the way you look? The way you feel? What you're interested in? Or do you know yourself because you know the relationship between your thoughts and consciousness? How fear, desire, and ego make you tick, make you move, the movement of your mind. How the role of these things are in how you feel, act, and react in your life. Is that how you know yourself? If it is, then you have a chance to get to know that other person which you say you want to love. Because before you love them, you got to know them. And to know them is to first to know yourself, how you're put together. Then you know how they're put together. And then you can see if you love them. And the fact that we use the word love in so many different ways and levels, it's kind of confusing. If it's really love that you're talking about, or it's an interest that mixed with your hormones and your desires and your wishes and hope for psychological security turns into something that you call love, but really is not the love that you would call love if you knew what love is. Okay, now that I've been completely confusing, I move on. Lottie. Ahmed said, I've been watching your videos for weeks, but have yet but having get a personal response helps a lot more. Thank you. You're welcome, Ahmed. Sam, you guys know that you can always, if you really are in deep shit and you really feel terrible, you can always go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and make an appointment on Skype consultation. As you know, click on the talk to me for consultation and it'll show you whole complete packages, and whatever it is that you're looking for, you will see what's suitable for you, and then through Skype we can talk specifically on your situations and explore it together and get you out of that. And of course, I hope that you guys will go on my site and take advantage of the books that I have there. Me, My Psyche, and I, specifically Transient Thoughts and Me. And these books are in print. They're $100 or $80, but I have turned them into ebooks, as you know, and turned them into dirt cheap so everyone can afford with any currency, Indian rupees or Australian dollar, it doesn't matter. I just purposely made it. There's no financial agenda here because they're like $4.99, $5.99, or $6.99. So this is so cheap, like a price of coffee. But I did it because I want you all to have one in your library and refer to it when you are in the mood to know a little bit more about your inner psyche and get help. Me, My Psyche, and I. Very reasonable. There's no agenda here to make me rich here. So if that's your question or concern, go get it and keep it on your library and refer to it whenever you want. These all will help you on top of the videos that we make here. So it'll be at your fingertips when you need it. Now, let's go. Sam says, yep, I am man 21 from Maryland, USA. Okay. Now, let's see, Sam, what was your question then? Let's go look for your question. Do you have any advice on dating someone 9 years older, even though they seem to really love, care about you? Okay, I see. Now, Sam, so you are 21 years old, and she's 30 years old. Whoa. Well, go for it. I mean, go enjoy it. If you guys are hitting it off and you're compatible and you like each other and you know you can learn from each other and enjoy each other, it's probably going to be mostly physical because she's much older. Don't expect something serious and your role to, you know, just enjoy it. Go in there, enjoy it, see what you will learn. if that's what you like, if that's what you decide to do, and that she's comfortable with that and you're comfortable with that, go see what it entails, and you learn it. And later on, you'll see if there are challenges because of the age differences or not. You will find out later. But just be careful. It's two different age. Usually, if you're 30 years old and she's 25 or 24, it's a good balance. But when you are 30 and she's 20 or 21, she's a bit too young in order to know what exactly she's getting into and she wants or she's expecting. And your expectations at age 30 would have been something maybe more solid and serious, and she may or may not. She may feel like it because you're much older than her and she feels good to be with an older boyfriend, and she feels like confident and she feels like adult because she's just grown up. But then later on she may not find it, that you guys hit it off because you haven't bonded on the right levels really. And it could be a similar thing for you now that you're 21 and she's 30 years old. At the beginning it will be very infatuating, very interesting, and very loving and caring. You feel great about yourself. You feel like a real man because she's 30 years old and she relies on you, she likes you, and you feel elated and you feel more than what you are. And it's very good, you feel like a real good feeling in you. But then later on, you may, in a few years, you may decide that you want a different type of girl, and you want a girl who's younger than you, and so on. And if you are not having children with her by then I guess maybe you will change and go to another options. But if you have made it a very serious relationship, then you may think twice when you grow a little older and say, oh well, I would have chosen a different girl because my expectation at age 21 wasn't really much, because I didn't know myself much and what I expect and what my standards should be. So at the time this girl looked really wonderful, but now that I'm older, I kind of know what kind of woman I would prefer more than what I've chosen. And those questions will come then, and there could become some division and conflicts there. So at least maybe go in there and find out if you guys can hit it off on consciousness level and on and have enjoyment, but just make sure you don't have children for now until you come to your senses and see, well, okay, that is the right choice for me, or maybe not. Or maybe she changes her mind. Maybe she will eventually think that she wants someone older. Who knows? But at the moment, just go with open eyes and experience, get to know each other better, and then you will come to a right conclusion, the two of you together, and see how that goes. All right. Rachel says, I'm 50 years old. Why are the older men don't want to settle down and stay with one person? They behave like a teenager. Is it called a middle life thing that they can't commit seriously? I don't think it's always like that. No, not necessarily. Maybe some men feel that way. They want to prove something to themselves that they're not old. They still can. They still got it. And they still can get a younger girl and stuff like that. But in general, it is usually the shortcomings that interferes with their proper selection. It's not necessarily a midlife crisis, because if they've learned anything by then, they should know that being in a relationship is a lot more than just the physical appearance, which is very important. And let's don't beat behind the bushes. It's very important to find a physically compatible partner, but at the same time, it cannot be the only thing that's going to keep the relationship together, because most often it doesn't. Physical appearances and compatibility is not going to be the thing that will keep the relationship together. It's going to be bonding on consciousness level that it will keep it together or not. So that is a very important part. So if they haven't learned that yet, well, it's their shortcomings. It's not your fault. And so you just got to continue your search for someone more suitable. I think that should be a good short response for now. Roxana says, thanks for the advice. As always, your voice should be playing in my head all the time. Okay, glad you enjoyed, Roxana. Stand Down says, thank you, you're welcome. And We have it says stand down says lonely and horny. Haha, I agree. I miss her, my ex, the most when I'm horny. How? Well, there you go. And Aman says great valuable content. Thank you, Aman. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Anand Pobaru says, Mehran, sorry, I will have to leave now. It's already 3 a.m. midnight in India. I was already sleepy at 1 a.m. but because of notification of session, I decided to stay awake. Signing off. Thanks for your time. My pleasure, and I'm glad that you could enjoy it, and we'll see you next time. Sam says, thanks so much. You're welcome. Rachel says, thank you so much for answering this question. You're quite welcome. Okay, guys, look like that we have hit all the questions. We answered all the questions. I'm delighted that you guys had the chance to share with me. Please do click on like before you disappear. Click on like so we will be counted or visible. It will help us with the algorithm of the YouTube, and it'll help us to be more visible. I love you all. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I look forward to talk to you later. Please be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.